First time I ever met Doc, I was playing guitar for Bill Monroe. You did mention Doc, right? Okay. Well, I was playing for Bill Monroe, and we were playing, I think it was a 2-week thing in Hollywood, California. Santa Monica, I think it was. No, Hollywood. There was a place called the Ash Grove Club, and we were there for 2 weeks. And our manager at the time was Ralph Rensler, who later went to manage the folk life up here in Washington, D.C. He left Nashville and come up because they gave him a job up there managing folk life. Anyway, Ralph Rensler told Bill Monroe, he said, now look, I've got an act I want to open for us this second week here. And he said his name's Doc Watson, you know. Of course, Doc had not been heard of except for locally around Boone, North Carolina, and Deep Gap and around there, you know. He had never been out for much. And so he said, Bill Monroe said, well, that's fine. And Ralph Rensler had this in mind. You remember no, you don't remember it, I don't either. The Monroe brothers, Charlie Monroe and Bill Monroe, they used to be brothers and they had a duet together. And Doc Watson knew all those tunes. And so they were going to do some, revisit a lot of the Monroe brothers tunes. And he was a great guitar player, you know that, don't you? And so but just going to let Doc open the show by himself. You know, he didn't bring a band with him, just Doc. And he sit on a chair, you know, and Doc asked me, he said, would you go out there and play a little backup guitar with me? And I said, well, I don't know your songs, you know. I was just a kid. I was only 23, I think, then. And he said, well, all I do is I just play them old fiddle tunes on a guitar. And I said, well, these fiddle players, they've schooled me on those old fiddle tunes. I know all of them, but just to play chords with and runs and all that, you know. And so I went out there and I sat down and played every show, every night with Doc. That's how I met Doc Watson, 1963. I just thought I'd tell this gentleman that story, and I have a lot of reverence for Doc Watson. He's a great musician, and there were so many things he could do that we natural folks, you know, he was blind, but he could do so many things. Now, boys, pick him a good, don't do nothing to Doc's, because he wouldn't like it. How'd you like that, folks, huh? Oh, they can do it, yeah. They played a lot of square dances, those two have. I used to call for you, didn't I?
Yeah.
To come and play. I didn't call a square dance.